Have you ever tried to recall the exact words someone said to you 5 years ago? Chances are you can't, but if I asked you how that person made you feel, you'd know in an instant. That's not a coincidence. That's how the human brain, especially the female brain, is wired to store memory. Today, we're going to talk about why women remember feelings, not facts. Why the tone of a conversation outlasts its content. And why understanding this one truth could change the way you communicate, the way you love, and the way you protect your own peace. Let's start with the science. Psychologists have long studied something called emotional memory, unlike factual memory, which stores dates, numbers, and exact phrases. Emotional memory stores the feeling attached to an experience. And here's the key part. Emotional memory is stronger, deeper, and far more durable than factual memory. Think about your own life. You may not remember what your best friend said to you on your worst day, but you remember that she showed up. You may not remember the exact words your mother used when she comforted you as a child, but you remember feeling safe. This is why, decades later, a certain smell, a certain song, or a certain tone of voice can instantly transport you back to a moment, not because you remember the details, but because you remember the emotion now. Why does this matter so much for women specifically? Research suggests that women, on average, tend to process emotional experiences more deeply and encode them with greater neural activity in areas of the brain linked to emotion and memory. This isn't a weakness. It's not being too sensitive. It's a different, and in many ways more sophisticated, way of processing the world. Women are often reading between the lines, noticing tone, body language, timing, energy, and storing all of that alongside the words. So when someone says something hurtful as a joke, she doesn't just remember the sentence. She remembers the tightness in her chest. She remembers if she felt small in that moment. She remembers if she felt safe or unsafe, valued or dismissed. This is why the same words can land completely differently depending on who says them and how. I'm proud of you from someone who has consistently shown up for you feels like warmth. The exact same words from someone who has let you down before can feel hollow, even manipulative. The content is identical. The emotional residue is not. This principle explains so much about relationships that otherwise feels confusing. Have you ever had someone apologize with all the right words and still feel unsettled afterward? That's because words are conscious. Anyone can learn the right words to say, but feelings are the truth underneath the words. A woman's intuition is often just her emotional memory doing its job, comparing what is being said now to what was felt before, and flagging the mismatch. This is also why grand gestures don't always repair damage. While small, consistent moments often build the deepest trust. A single expensive gift can't undo months of feeling unheard. But a partner who remembers how you take your coffee, who checks in after a hard day without being asked, who makes you feel safe enough to cry in front of them, that person is building an emotional bank account that lasts far longer than any single conversation. So, what does this mean for how we show up in our relationships, romantic, platonic, or professional? First, it means we have to stop obsessing over saying the perfect thing and start paying attention to the feeling we're creating. You don't need the perfect words to comfort someone. You need presence. You need patience. You need to make them feel heard, not fixed. Second, it means we need to take responsibility for the emotional atmosphere we create, especially with the people we claim to love. Sarcasm that leaves someone feeling small doesn't disappear just because you say, "I was only joking." Silence that leaves someone feeling invisible doesn't disappear just because you didn't mean anything by it. The impact lives on even after the words are forgotten. Third, and this one is for you. If you're the woman who remembers everything, understand that this is not a flaw. Your ability to sense the emotional undercurrent in a room, to remember exactly how someone treated you when it mattered, is not oversensitivity. It's emotional intelligence. It's self-protection. Trust it. If someone consistently makes you feel anxious, small, or confused, no matter how good their words sound, believe the feeling over the explanation. Feelings don't lie the way words sometimes can. And if someone consistently makes you feel calm, safe, and valued, even during hard conversations, that is worth more than any perfectly crafted sentence. At the end of the day, people will forget the argument you had. They'll forget the exact compliment you gave them. They'll forget the specific plans you made. But they will never forget how you made them feel in your presence. That feeling becomes the story they tell about you, long after the details fade. So the next time you're wondering how to build trust, repair a relationship, or simply connect more deeply with someone, stop searching for the right words. Start focusing on the feeling. Because in the end, that's the only thing that truly stays. If this resonated with you, you're exactly who this channel is for. Subscribe and let's keep learning how to protect your peace, understand your emotions, and build relationships that actually feel safe.